Okay, so now that you've learned something about uh, uh, getting the support and buy-in for your particular idea, we now have to start thinking about if you come up with a solution, how might it be rolled out within the organization? So let's take a look at the at these kinds of issues. All right. So deployment refers to how your solution will be delivered and implemented within your organization or in the field. We're talking about logistics and training. If you come up with a solution, um, to what extent will people need to be trained on how to use that solution? What resources will be required to ensure that the solution is operational? Um, this is really important in the military context, where rapid deployment might be essential to the mission. So let's hear what Steve Blank has to say about it.
I just made a $27 ebook in 2 minutes using AI. Watch how I did it so you can do it too. Here.
So the next thing you need to think about is deployment. You might be wondering, okay, I built this great demo and I have users who are really excited, but how am I going to field or deploy the product or service to tens, hundreds, or thousands of people? And there's really two types of organizations we need to think about. One is where the deployment will happen inside your own organization, where there might be hundreds or thousands of analysts, and you have your own engineering group. You need to figure out how to actually get the product adopted and then deployed by them. Or you might be in a service component, the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard. And how does products and services actually get deployed to the field in those organizations? What are other contracting vehicles necessary for you to know about? Are the prime contractors involved? Are you just building a prototype and are you going to hand it off to someone else? You need to be able to diagram out the actual deployment process from your current state all the way. How does it get into the hands of those people you envision using the product and service?
So this is what we're talking about in deployment. If you come up with a solution, you're working with your key contact, try to learn what it would take for that solution to be implemented in the company in terms of any training, any resources, any other logistics that might be required. So here are some possible questions you might ask your client when it comes to deployment. So what resources and infrastructure are needed for the deployment? Is it financial? Is resources? Is it physical assets? Is it a space to work? What are those resources and how quickly can your solution be deployed? What training or onboarding will the beneficiaries require? The training is going to be really critical if your recommendation will be successful. And I don't think you're going to be working with any risky solutions, but you always want to ask what risks or challenges might arise during the deployment process. So these are just some questions that you can begin to engage with your client or other people who he or she might recommend that you speak to as you develop your solutions.